what's going on, people? You're watching That Deep podcast on TLDTV. We're back again for another week. Today, breaking news, Chunkz is quitting music altogether. So we got some deep thoughts that we can hopefully get into today. Abdel's going to be giving us a bit of background. Is it your father that's Muslim, Abdel?
Yeah, my dad's Muslim and then my mom's like Christian. So my mom's side, they're all Christians.
You live in that double life.
My dad's side. Well, it's not really that of a double life. Like it used to be, but now I just live with just my parents, isn't it? So I'm just like on the Muslim side, you get me?
Cool. How do you feel? Are you a fan of Chunkz?
Yeah, I watch all his stuff, you know, him and Philly. Like. But thing, I get like with his reason that he gave for quitting like music, as a Muslim, you get why he's doing it, and like you see the goodness out of it. You get me? Because like music is like haram and thing in Islam, and like so like certain instruments like drums, guitars, and plus like these modern day music here, sometimes they promote like violence, alcohol, like adultery, and them stuff are haram in Islam. Like even in Christianity, like you know, like the 10 Commandments also says like thou shalt not commit murder, them stuff. Like yeah, and then like when you listen to modern music, yeah, you know that that's all they talk about in there. And like if you're not talking about them stuff, you're moist, like you don't get a lot of views like that. You might get some, but you won't get as much support as if you're rapping about violence and gang stuff. You get me?
Yeah.
And like things like with him, yeah, you know he's got to use like instrumentals, and then they come from like the drums, guitars, which like. It's haram.
We're definitely going to get deeper into it. I think I just wanted to like a touch on the character as a whole. How about you, Chloe? Have you been kind of following his career, Chunkz?
So I didn't really know much about his music. I saw a bit of the video of him saying he was stopping it, and mad respect to him. It's not easy when you hear about like the offers he was getting, and like it's hard. Like I can see how hard it would be, but I didn't really know much about his music. I've seen because he start on YouTube, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like he was talking about how that kind of led to other opportunities. So fair play to him to be stepping back now. But yeah, no, I didn't really follow his music or know much about it, to be honest.
Yeah, because that's the funny thing, I guess. I think a lot of his evolution and growth. Like, how would the prank stuff kind of stand up, Abdel, in terms of that same? Would you see that as something that is going to be fading out as well, or
what, the prank stuff?
Yeah, because you know how it is. Like some people are just getting disrespected by his friends.
I don't know. Like I think the prank stuff here. There might be a time here where everyone would just find it like, you like how everyone finds everything offensive these days, isn't it? Like, it doesn't matter what you say, you know there'll be someone that will be like, nah, what you're doing was wrong. Do you get me? So like, as we're seeing it now, you know there'll be some day that everyone will be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we're bored of this.
But do you see, like, as
it's not
someone
funny
has some
anymore.
Understanding of the background, do you see a conflict of faith there? So, like, some of the videos I've seen with Chunkz, like, thinking back, have been like them delivering dildos in a box randomly on people's doorstep and that kind of thing. In my mind, so I'm thinking, like, would that be haram as well?
That just depends on him, innit? Like, because like, if he really wants to like if he's like, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna change all my stuff, make sure that everything's halal, yeah, he'll have to like stop with like some of them stuff, like, or deliver, let's say example, delivering the dildo to like someone's yard. Like as soon as it's just friendly, and then but let's just take out the dildo part, but yeah, like as long as what he's doing is not to hurt someone, like with the intention to hurt someone, but to like bring people together, make sure everyone's happy, then that's good. Like it does, like as a human, you see it as like a good thing because you're promoting like togetherness and happiness as well. You're helping people. Like let's say if someone's depressed and they watch his videos, they might get, I wouldn't say they will get cured with the depression, but you know, it will help a little bit with it. You get me?
Yeah, I know you. It's only Kevin Hart your depression, right?
Yeah. and with something like that, yeah, that you can't really say it's haram because he's helping out with other people. You get me?
Okay. Yeah, I got you. All right, so interesting take. Just because people might not be familiar with the term, can you define halal for us?
So halal is something that's good. Anything that's good. So like helping others, giving out charity, like just doing good stuff, like not drinking and all of that. Haram is something that's bad, like anything bad. So like drinking, fighting, violence, like all of them stuff are haram. Adultery, like you can't have a girlfriend, like you'll have to have like just get married straight away, and that's halal if you get married straight away. But if you've got a girlfriend, then that's haram. I know you're gonna ask, do you have a girlfriend? No, I don't.
Hey, I wasn't gonna take it there. That's your conscience talking.
No, it's just the fact that it's just the looking at the you're like, should I ask him? Or should I not?
No, my head wasn't even there. My head was like gonna talk to Chloe next. Like that's where I was at. That's your conscience all day.
But no, I that's facts.
So Chloe, for you then, so again, so you're not coming from an Islamic background, so maybe your viewpoint's going to be slightly different. The pranks and stuff. If he's quitting music and like it's not like he was doing like gangster rap or something like that. Do you know what I mean? In terms of what he was doing, he was just like messing around. I mean, it's Asni. Do you know what I mean? It's like so it wasn't all the way there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that kind of juxtaposition of the like crazy pranks while kind of pulling back from music? How does that line up for you?
I think it's a hard one because he's on his own journey, isn't he? Like, so he's talking about how he felt guilty about making music. I think he said that one of his songs came out after his decision, so he had to like back it the whole way, but he felt so guilty for that. So I guess if he's okay with what he's doing, then fair enough. But I know there's probably some viewers who maybe are Muslim that might not be okay with it. I don't know, but to be honest, I haven't really seen that many. Obviously the pranks you were talking about, I don't know how recent that is. It's a hard one because maybe it will be a case in the future that he will sort of cut back on that kind of thing as well, or maybe he won't feel that that's something he needs to do. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one because when you share your life online as well, because he's obviously on YouTube, he's an influencer, all the rest of it, they kind of, you can't really hide, you can hide stuff, but people will know kind of what you're up to. So I guess if the people, he's hanging out with a lot of people that aren't, is he part of the Sidemen or is he just friends with them?
Nah, he's friends with the Sidemen. He's with Team Beta.
Okay, I'm getting my YouTubers muddled up. I don't know much about that side of YouTube, but because I know not all of them obviously have a religious background or anything like that, so obviously it's going to be hard for him. Like, I don't.
No, they actually do, you know.
Pardon?
His team, they do like some of them are Muslim.
Oh, cool.
So like you got Sharky, I think he's Muslim as well, and that I know him. I was trying to go. I forgot his name. Thing AJ is also a thing. He's also Muslim as well.
Okay.
So I think they support him with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, because I guess the people you hang out with will impact what you do, like in everyday life, but also online. Yeah. The pranks, like if the rest of his mates are doing it, then it's harder to sort of step back from it. But I don't know if that or whether that will affect his views, because then you've got all that to think about as well. Like you want to make your money, you want to do what you want to do, but also if his religious views kind of override that, then he might have a conviction to stop. But no idea how he'll deal with
That's
all
the
that.
thing, like I swear, like every one of the last set of challenges that I saw him doing, because he was kind of pulling away and like the football stuff was taking off more as well, right? And then he was concentrating more on music, so he wasn't doing as much of the whole beta squad and that stuff anyway. But whenever I saw him, he seemed to start like losing every challenge because he just like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. No. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So it almost seemed like an uncomfortable space even before.
He's got it on his cautious, like.
Yeah, exactly. You could feel him kind of pulling away from that sense anyway, which, as you said, is like bound to have a knock-on effect there.
Yeah.
Let's deep dive the music thing then. I mean, so are you saying, Abdel, that it's based on the chosen instrument?
Like most of the instruments are like haram, and so.
Okay, cool. So let's
like,
take away words.
There's like one instrument. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
there's that one instrument. Yeah. If you get rid of
the words. So if you put words aside for just a minute, just so I can understand. So if we get rid of the words, just talking about music as in instrumentation and sounds.
Yeah.
I break it down in terms of what's halal, what's haram.
So like what I know here is that drums, guitars, like, you know, that's like what we use like mostly in music, like to get, if you want the bass, like you need a bass guitar, you need drums, like instrumentals, all of them stuff. So like if you're using it and it says that, oh, it's haram in Islam, and you're using it in your music, that makes your music haram. And like there's that one instrument that I read that's like halal, that's like the duff drum. I don't know what it looks like, but yeah, that's all I know that it's halal at the moment. But apart from that, any other ones is just haram.
Yeah. And I know there's like references in the Quran going back to I think it's even the material that it's made from, right?
Yeah.
So some materials are said to be haram. So I'm just thinking in my head then, in theory, I'm not sure how it would sound, but in theory, it's possible to make music, forgetting the words, it's possible to make music, so instrumentation, arrangement, compositions that are halal. It's possible.
So let's say if we're using like, I don't know, I got no idea. Like, you know what it is? Islam is like I don't know, if you're outside of it, it's kind of complicated a little bit, because like sometimes you might hear like there's like some kind of lineage like with it as well, because something you might say, oh, you can't do this way, but you might, but you when you think about it, you say, cool, so if I can't do it that way, what if I did it this way? Will it still be haram or halal? So like that's what makes it difficult to decide. Oh, like what if it was, so like let's say the drum here. What if I used like something different to make it? Will it make the drum halal? But it's still a drum, so you don't really know like if it's still got the same rules to it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. So you'd have to be real tricky about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like the best thing you could do is just stay away from it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
what about beatboxing?
Beatboxing, I mean, that's just your voice, so you might as well just.
So you're good.
So you're good. Like, if you're dummies, you have to be really good at beatboxing.
I didn't say the quality. I'm just trying to see what we could do to make Chunk's music career get back on track. I don't know.
Beatbox.
Coming on with a beatboxer.
You know,
beatbox, and then just might as well just singing it about love and stuff. You get me?
Yeah.
Just natural things.
Because I guess that was the other thing to say, like, from the material that I've heard from him so far, so there's a few girl stuff, and then it feels like a few ego stuff.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, yeah, I guess there's YouTuber life, but like, you know, when he's bragging about YouTube views and stuff, it's like there's not that much really there to talk about in terms of content, I guess, in terms of his approach. But yeah, I guess that did feel like an area of development for me. Like, I guess personally, what I'd like to see wouldn't be necessarily him stopping making music. It would be him making music that reflects where he's at now. You know, I think this is kind of the thing that I worry about, where sometimes I think people get to a level of maturity that's kind of in their, you know, without offending anyone, tends to be like closer to 30 than anything else. And then at that stage, they kind of either stop making music, or, you know, the interest just kind of isn't there. And he seems to be approaching some kind of maturity, I'd say.
Yeah. I think he's like just trying to like get close to God more and like appreciate what he's given him. That's what his reason was. Like, if he's just trying to get more religious and just appreciate what he has in life right now, instead of like just trying to push on. Because if you keep wanting more, you might end up doing something that is wrong, and that's not what he's trying to do.
I feel you. What's your view on it, Chloe? Would you like to see potentially him making a different kind of music? You know how it is, like every now and again in London, you kind of get one where it's kind of like either anti-knife crime or stop the violence or just a song about love. Ed Sheeran's been killing that field for years. You know, how would you feel in terms of his content going forward?
Do you know what? I think that'd be cool. I think he's probably, even just by quitting, has been some kind of inspiration to, I'm sure, a lot of his fan base, viewers, whatever you want to call it. So I guess that would be another step, but whether he's feeling that calling, I don't know. Whether that's not really, I guess then it's like a fine line that he's treading on, whether it's just him giving his opinion and stuff, or whether he just wants to take a complete step back because he feels wrong for doing it in general. I don't know. Again, I guess it depends where he sits with all the different rules, as Abdel was saying, and how to do that in a... I guess the other thing is he's trying to be as mainstream as possible, and perhaps in his head that's not where he's wanting to go. Maybe he's not saying he's doing things for the views, but there must be an element of that when you're an influencer, that you want to get the most views possible, and that obviously leads to money as well, and maybe that's not feasible, he's thinking, in that respect. I don't know, because it's one way you can go, but whether that's, maybe if he's wanting to stay more mainstream, he thinks that will take him more out of the scene. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. Are you aware of any Muslim artists, Abdel?
Yeah, there's a lot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind,
drill rappers, like there's some that are Muslims I like.
Yeah, in my mind, like Mos Def comes to mind. Nas, I think for a while. I know Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle's Muslim as well. Right?
Yeah. So how does that sit for you? I mean, they're managing a field somehow. Would you feel they shouldn't be in the space that they're in?
I mean, like, it just, you know what it is when it comes to religion. It depends on you and like your faith and like how you practice it. You get me? So like, some people might not be as strict as others, and some people might be that. For example, I'm not really that strict, but I know people that are really strict. Like they make sure they're doing all the right stuff, like just because of their religion. So like they will stay away from some stuff, like listening to music, always making sure that they're praying 5 times, reading the Quran, like knowing all their deen and then just trying to complete them.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it just depends on you as a person. Like what you feel comfortable with and like how you want to like be seen in it.
I guess so. This is the interesting thing. Like, I guess when we cross over to grey, because then like from a Quranic perspective, then we wouldn't say it kind of depends on you and how you feel. It would kind of sit as haram or halal, right?
Yeah. Like if you're looking at it overall, you will either say, oh, what you're doing is haram or halal. There's no like in between, or you're doing something that's haram and halal. Nah. It's either you're doing like haram or halal stuff. And that's what it is. So like even like you was talking about things like Muslim music, Muslim artists, like you got Parsley, like he's just upcoming and that. But you know he's blowing these days, isn't it? Like he's a Muslim as well. Like he focuses on the music, like so it really just depends on like how much of a straight Muslim you were or a straight religious person you were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting as well, the start and end point. I guess for me as well, it'd be like a point of research, because I guess how does the call to prayer sit with this?
The call to prayer.
Yeah, just go on.
Just because you're doing music, it doesn't mean you can't pray.
No, but I mean, like in terms of that, would it be quantified as music?
Oh, when you're praying?
No, not praying. You know the call to prayer.
I got no idea what a call to.
You're trying to. There's no way I'm going to sit here with you and try and imitate it. All right, I'm not going out like that. Have you never heard like the Muslim call to prayer in like especially Muslim countries? Yeah.
Oh, it's not music. It's just you reciting the Quran. That's what it is.
It just wouldn't be seen as anything connected to music.
No, it's just how you recite the Quran. You get me? So like, different people do it differently. Like everyone says it differently, but it's all the same words.
Yeah, because I'm used to hearing it with a little bit of sauce.
I know.
Doesn't usually sound.
Because like once you get older, once you get older, you get more invested in it. You understand it. You understand what it means. So when you're reciting it, you know what it's about and things. That's what sometimes it affects how you say it as well. You get me?
Okay.
Like you kind of let it marinate. Kind of let it marinate like inside you and stuff. You get me? But no, it's not like something that's music. It's just like you reciting the Quran like in Arabic. You know?
Okay.
Like, even when you're reading the Quran, you kind of read it with like a bit of tone to it. It's sometimes if you don't know what it is, you might think, oh, the person is trying to sing in Arabic. But yeah, it's just someone that's praying. Like, okay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. I feel you. And like none of us have a crystal ball. But Chloe, how do you kind of see this playing out over the next 5 or so years? If you were to make some calls in terms of where you see his career and his path going, what do you see in his future?
Ooh, tough one. I feel like when you've committed to quitting music, I feel like at least for a little while, that's that. I can't imagine him sort of going down the route you were talking about, whether he could do something different without, the other side of things with the tunes and stuff. Whether I feel like he's not ready. He's not completely getting rid of his YouTube or the prank side of things yet. He's not mentioned anything about that as far as I'm aware. So I feel like for at least a while he'll be still on that grind. I can't imagine him completely going offline. It depends, I guess, because he's saying he's becoming more religious and his sort of faith is growing the more he's sort of doing stuff, and he felt like he should be quitting music. So I guess you can never say whether that's going to happen further down the line with other stuff, and he's getting more committed to that kind of stuff. And he was saying, because Ramadan's just gone, hasn't it, that it was as that was happening, that's when his song came out. So whether that will happen more and more with quitting other stuff, I don't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I can't imagine him quitting the majority of what he does yet anyway.
Yeah. Abdel, what do you see in the future?
No, I think he would stick with the YouTube stuff. Like, it's just the music part that he would just get rid of. And with the YouTube stuff, if he's going to make some changes to it, he might just scrap the prank stuff and kind of focus on like educational stuff and like just normal entertainment. You get me? Apart without the prank stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, one thing I thought was interesting is every time like Sharky was talking to him about what he's going to do with himself, he kept saying, "Don't forget football, and don't forget football, and don't forget football." I feel like he might try and lean a bit more heavily into, because it was a series, is it Pitch to Road or Road to Pitch or something like that. He has a few little like football ventures. I can see him potentially just leaning a bit more into there as like a safe space.
Like a football host or something like that.
Say that again?
I said it might become a football host.
Yeah, just something like that. And you know, Anton Deck ain't gonna live forever, but like there's space for it there somewhere. And Deck and Chunkz, I don't know.
And he played Soccer Aid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like I've seen him, but I've seen him he's going more mainstream as far as I can see, I believe.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of his audience is more male online. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But so that's how I didn't really know who he was. Like, I watch football and stuff. So I saw him on Soccer Aid, and I feel like he's getting more on that stuff. Huh?
Don't get sidetracked, Adele. Don't get sidetracked. I'm talking about Chunkz' Future's on the line here. Come on, concentrate.
But yes, I can see him doing more mainstream football stuff, maybe on TV more than just online, is what I was thinking. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so weird. I guess I've been on TV strike with the sports stuff since I'm an Arsenal fan. It goes like that. But yeah, he is as well, actually. And I think he's done a bit of work with the Emirates too. But yeah, I think you're right as far as the mainstream goes. Final thoughts on the music that's out. What do you guys think he should do with the music that's already out?
Just might as well just keep it pushing. Like, there's no point just saying, "Oh, you know what? Yeah," because you put in work, hard work, and that. Just might as well just let it go. Like, just let it stream in it. Take your piece, and then and then beg, and then pay for forgiveness.
But this was what we were saying though, like, because I don't know how aware we are of numbers, but so he was up in at like chart level. So the budget
was that top 40.
Huh?
It was that top 40.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like the producers and things that he's working with, we're talking about tens of thousands for like instrumentals. I know there was a couple that were like, when he started off, he was like, "Send me beats, please," type thing. But I'd say he's already in minus a lot. So I wouldn't be too shocked if he did pull some stuff down, because it's one button, you know. In terms of the digital world now, it's not like back in the days when it's like you press vinyl or CDs or something. And there's a few that have that. I'm looking at his Spotify profile. There's a few that have that explicit E and stuff on there. Yeah, for explicit content. So
yeah, do you not kind of see though, like, it as that's his journey? Could he not maybe leave it as, this is where I've come from and this is me now, I'm not about that anymore? I don't know, like, I guess there's the controversy if he's making money from it, that be getting money from it. But I don't know, I respect
maybe he doesn't want haram money at the same time, innit? Because of what the piece is associated with, you might just put it out. You know?
And if he's talking about that guilt, I suppose Yeah. If he's talking about the guilt, I suppose that's not going to go away if he keeps it up. So maybe he will pull it.
True.
Yeah. And it's funny, like, I can kind of foresee the, like, title, Chunkz Quit Music, causing him to get more people to check out his music. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's, like, YouTube fans, because his YouTube base seems bigger than his music base. It's like 1 point something mil, right? On his YouTube.
Yeah, he just started music, you know. It hasn't been that long.
And he has, like, good numbers, but I'm looking at, like, so the biggest thing, Vibranium's like 21 mil. Yeah, which is fair, but I wouldn't say that's the peak of where he could have gone with it. If you think of our favorite artist, that'd be like if you take it as a 1-to-1 ratio, one of his subscribers streaming his music 21 times. I'd say over a lifetime, you listen to your favorite artist more than 21 times in your life, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
But, yeah. See, it'll be interesting either way. Final thoughts, I can say big respect to him for making the decision, especially based on the convictions that he made it on. And all the best for the next steps on his journey. Big up to Chunkz.